with me is Feng M. Fajok.
F.
Feng F.
F.
Yes, M. M as initial.
F.
Fajok is PWA. JOK. Our appearance is for defendants to counterclaim. Most grateful.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, my Lord. We are ready to. My Lord, we sincerely apologize for our absence the last sitting. We otherwise engage at the Court of Appeal.
Yes, you may proceed with your defense. Registrar. Is your witness
Yes,
is
my Lord.
online? Registrar. Swear the witness.
Okay, my lord, am I called? I can hear clearly, but I cannot hear Olani.
The witness here.
Yes, my lord, I can hear some parts clearly, but the other parts are broken. When Barrister Charles spoke, I could hear clearly. When my lord spoke, I could hear clearly, but I unfortunately cannot hear. And it seems some people are muted. Like I think Olanike is muted, so I cannot hear their communication.
Can you hear me right now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay.
And also when the other lawyer, Judith, spoke, I couldn't hear.
Are you a Christian or a Muslim?
I am a Christian. The last question I had was, are you a Christian or a Muslim? And I identified that I am a Christian.
Can you hear me very well?
Yes, it's crystal clear now. Thank you.
Yes, would you like to swear with the Holy Bible? This is the Holy Bible, or would you like to affirm?
I would like to affirm.
Can you raise up your, yes. After I, you put your name and you repeat every word after me. Say I,
I, Martins,
your name,
Avan,
affirm
affirm
that the evidence
that the evidence
I shall give
I shall give
in this case
in this case
shall be the truth,
shall be the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
Lord, the witness has affirmed.
Okay, witness, can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly, sir.
Okay. Can you tell the court your full name?
My full name is Martins Msute Avan.
At court, please. At court. At court, please. Okay. Where do you work?
Okay. I am a captain. I currently work at the University of Portsmouth as a guest lecturer, and I also fly for Raymark Charters International, based out of the US.
You have to take it slowly. My lord will be recording you.
Okay.
Just to make sure what the process is that your statement of department. Sure.
Yes, my lord. The statement of defense is filed on the 18th day of June, 2021. Lord. Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord. 2021.
You lost your phone. Then we have this problem.
Since we're experiencing national grid collapse, maybe is is encroaching on networks.
Is your connection still on?
Yes, my lord.
My connection is on.
But once I can get it, so come back. Is your your connection is on? Yes.
Okay, my lord. Okay, where do you reside?
Okay, I reside in the United Kingdom, a town of Canterbury, just 50 miles out of London.
You reside at
UK, United Kingdom.
My address is,
London. Can you repeat so that my lord can hear you?
okay, I reside at 163 George Rush Road, Canterbury, United Kingdom.
Rush Road.
Is it?
Yes, George.
I'll repeat, please.
You said the Rush Road.
Yes,
Where? In United Kingdom.
Canterbury.
Where? Canterbury, my lord.
Canterbury.
Yes, my lord.
Yes.
Okay. Can you recollect that on 2nd July 2021 that you deposed to a witness statement of oath before the registrar of this honorable court?
Affirmative. I recollect deposing to witness statement at the registry of the industrial court.
Okay. Can you also recollect that on the same date, the 2nd July 2021, that you deposed a witness statement of oath for your contact claim before the registrar of this honorable court?
I do recollect that I deposed to the witness statement to my counterclaim before the registry of the industrial court.
Now, if you say the copies of these witness depositions of oath, how will you be able to recognize it or recognize them?
I will be able to recognize the statement with my signature that I appended to the statements.
Okay, take a look at this. The copy of this.
Mm-hmm.
Take a look at this signature.
Yes, I see it. That is the document that I appended my signature to.
Two statements. Yes, my lord. The 2nd July 2021, my lord. Both statements bear the same date, my lord. Now take a look at the second witness statement, the counterclaim witness statement of oath. Have you seen it?
I can see it.
Confirm that this is your signature.
I affirm that that is my signature and that is the witness statement that I signed.
Can you tell the court what you want to do with your witness statement or oath?
Before this honorable court, I would like to adopt my witness statement on oath as my statement before this honorable court, my lord.
Okay. Will you also recollect that you attached some documents to your witness statement on oath?
I recollect attaching documents to my witness statement on oath.
And if you see copies of these documents, you'll be able to recognize them.
I will be able to recognize the documents I attached.
It will not be able to see the documents because it's the virtual hearing.
At court, please.
So, counsel to send out the documents from the back,
At court, please. Okay.
send out the documents from the back. I don't know whether prior to this hearing, counsel agreed on documents that you would not be objective to, or else all the documents would be admitted subject to the rights of counsel to object to any one of them at final investigation.
At court, please. We didn't seek to reconcile.
So all those documents, send them, they will be admitted subject to the rights of the claimants to object to any one of them at final investigation.
At court, please.
So the witness relies on the documents that he has referred to in his witness deposition.
The witness, do you rely on all the documents that you have attached to your witness depositions on oath in this matter?
Yes, I do rely on the documentation that I have attached on my witness statement on oath.
The witness may want to lay foundation on the some I don't know.
Yes.
As court, please.
Did you not lay those foundations in your statement?
No, my lord. No, my lord. Now, these documents that you attach are all photocopies.
I do affirm that these documents are electronically generated ones.
If these documents that you intend to rely on are photocopies of the original,
I do affirm that these documents are copies of the original documents.
do you still affirm that these documents are electronically generated documents?
I do affirm that they are electronically generated, but are accompanied by a certificate of compliance.
Yeah, where are the originals of these documents?
So at the time of executing most of these documents, I was in the United States of America at the behest of the claimant company. And so they were being emailed. Correspondence was emailed back and forth. They'll email it to me. I would sign the email, the documents, and attach on
Take it easy, my lord is writing you down, is recording you.
Okay. So because I was in the United States, the claimant companies were either in the Johannesburg in South Africa, and their client was in Nigeria, in Abuja. The emails were going through from the beginning of the transaction of the recruitment. It was so from the Skype interview meeting, everything was done on email. So all of those emails are still available, and these are the documents that have been generated from those emails. That is why we went on to comply with the requirements to make a certificate of compliance, which is dated 23rd of February 2023, to accompany these documents. So the originals are with the claimant company.
The originals are with the claimants.
Company, yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes.
And also there are WhatsApp extras.
I agree. Yes, a lot of the correspondence was on WhatsApp. We use two media of correspondence, WhatsApp and emails. So the WhatsApp communication is also all documented and attached, as well as the emails printed out, as well as the attachments to those emails, and the record of the documentation from the correspondence between myself and the claimant company.
My lord, we seek to tender this bundle of documents referred to in the defendant's or counter-claimant witness statements of oath. My lord. And with the certificate of compliance also attached.
some documents that
were they needed? What are the documents that were not needed? Let's answer.
one, two, Thursday.
You know, we are virtual, so we have to try and move with speed because of the connections. Show cancel if their documents you say were not concluded. Are they documents that were needed?
Yes, my lord.
Like this thing first.
Agree, that's why I asked from the beginning whether cancel has agreed documents.
The last which is on 17. Which is on 17. March the 18th.
If I have 10,
This one, the first document here, the page, which has already been done. I know that Mr. Kulu has forged an entirely sign each page. That instructed the stage of the actual agreement and attached same thing.
this is a document.
The funds are. Well,
Yes,
My lord, we have.
have you been able to resolve the issue?
Yes, my lord, apart from one, there is one that they are entirely different. One included, and we don't even speak of it.
Sorry?
It wasn't concluded.
But
But
he
he
said,
no, it wasn't. I don't see it. For it. But he is claiming that he had already tendered. So if we had already tendered it, I don't know why we don't now tender it again. That's what I was trying to get back to. If you claim the document has already been tendered, then why is it the
let me hear from Mr. Sunday. The document so right now it is one document that is being contested.
As court reasons.
Was that document needed?
The document, the facts of it were pleaded.
The facts
The
of the
facts,
document
yes,
were pleaded.
yes, my lord. Correctly pleaded, and they tendered it. And when we wanted to object, and when we wanted to cross-examine him with the original document we have, he said that ours is not before the court, and that was why we couldn't. So now we want, because of our contact leg, we want to rely on the same document which has already been tendered.
What is the document? Can you let me I can note the document that is being contested.
Yes, my lord, is the air crew training loan agreement.
So the tax repeated when.
Yes, on the paragraph. Yes, my lord, on paragraph 28 of the defendant's witness statement of oath. And 29, my lord.
Said that document is already in evidence.
Yes, my lord. Is not is the first document the number what I have is it one.
The document is already in evidence. Let's say registrar. Let me have the documents, the payments
Yes,
documents.
okay. So that I can identify.
So that's just to verify
That's
that that document is already in evidence.
That's complete.
So both of you can agree that that document is already in evidence.
Okay.
Yes, my lord, that is exhibit C1.
This is already in evidence that the payments admitted as exhibit C1. So again, you have that document. That is the only document that is.
Yes, my lord, just like my lord said, any other objection will be at address stage.
As that I can see your list of happy documents, your list of another list of documents for.
No, my lord, and that list of documents, there are some documents that are referred like emails of 20 and 25. So two documents at once. So that is one.
So documents that.
And also the
Yeah, it's you will have to, because I am going to, you are saying some documents are together.
yes, Lord.
So they should be marked as one.
As for this,
Because in the marking of the document, you tend to use your list.
as copies.
And your list of the thing there. So it would mean that if you have documents, for example, like number 8 is out there. For your list, you have each of questions, level of defender, 30th of November. All documents.
Part as one.
Together,
As places. As copy. My Lord, we in the list we indicated there are two more, which is the email correspondence of 21st March 2019, which was referred to in paragraph 45, and also the forged agreement that we intend to challenge also, one that he just spoke to now, is another document, making it 15, which we identified in that.
As a court, please.
We are most grateful, my Lord.
The defendant's documents are given evidence subject to the rights of the claimant subject to any one of them and final address speech.
As a court,
These documents are given in evidence on their mark. Exhibit 1 to 18.
At court places, my Lord. My Lord, that would be the examination in chief of the defendants for counterclaim.
What does the defendant counterclaimant want from the court?
Okay. Now, Mr. Martins, what do you want from the court?
My Lord, thank you for the opportunity. This is a short explanation. If my Lord will
just straight to the point, based on the counterclaim and your defense, what do you want from the court? It may just be one statement.
Based on my defense and my counterclaim, I pray the court to give award me the services that I rendered to the company and the payments that were not made to me. And
so you want the court, in other words, want the court to grant you your counterclaim and dismiss the case of the claimant.
I affirm that I want the court to grant me my counterclaim and then to dismiss the case of the claimant, especially on the account of the forged document that the case is based upon. And if possible, refer that as a deterrent to others not to present, forgeries before.
It's okay. It's okay. Yes, my Lord. My Lord, I wouldn't know, my Lord, if the defendant can speak to the document, especially the one that is saying about forged, vis-a-vis the one he has. I don't know if you can speak to it, my Lord. In the statement as court pleases.
That's the whole purpose of the statement. Everything he has to say regarding the documents must have been stated in his witness statement.
At court pleases.
And I will look at his witness statement of oath, because those statements of oath are his oral evidence.
As court pleases. We are most grateful, my Lord. This will be the all for the examination in chief of the defendants will conduct claimant witness.
So cross-examination.
Yes, my Lord.
If the connection allows.
Yes, my lord. I don't intend to take just a few questions. Mr. Martins,
Yes,
can
Council.
you hear me?
Yes, Council, I can hear you clearly.
Yes. Okay. So tell this court how you know the claimant and when you know the claimant.
Okay. The Honorable Court, so as a captain working back then in Nigeria at the Abuja airport, I had a few acquaintances.
I'm writing. Put the question to the witness again. The question to the witness again.
And no story, talk directly to the answer as asked.
Okay.
And remember, my Lord is recording you. Whatever that is not recorded goes to no issue. You take it easy.
All right.
Thank you. So the question is, how and when do you know the claimant?
Okay. So back then in 2018, while I was still working in Nigeria, there was an aircraft manager at the Abuja airport at the private wing where we fly private charter that we used to interact. So he put it to me that, so he came across to me that there was a company, the Executive Aviation, that is managing an aircraft on behalf of a Nigerian owner, and that they are seeking for flight crew experienced on a variant of a Challenger. And that is how he, knowing me at the airport that I was experienced captain on the Challenger, he asked me if I was interested for him to forward my name to this company and its owner. So I affirmed. So once I did that, I was called first by the claimant company, and then on discussion, he told me that Executive Aviation will call me to schedule a Skype for the employment. So I got to know him in the course of the employment on the Challenger.
Your question directly. Because the question I want to repeat. Can you repeat that question?
My question is direct. I said, how do you know the claimant and when?
How do you know the claimant and when?
And when did you know the claimant?
Is the claimant your employer? Is that the question that's what you're asking?
Yes, my lord.
Asking like that.
Okay. Who is your employer? Is it the claimant?
Yes, on my document of employment that was sent to me by the claimant, it's put two companies on it. So I will make reference to that document, Martini Air / Executive Aviation. So it's a two-part employment structure that they brought forward. So I agree the claimant is my employer.
So the claimant is your employer. When did the claimant employ you?
In November of 2018.
In November
of 2018.
2018. Okay. Thank you. Who trained you? Is it the claimant or Executive that trained you?
So Your question has to be specific. I'll tell you when I started my training. As a pilot, my training started in 2009. I only knew the claimant over 10 years later. So asking me who trained me in this
Sorry,
palace.
that's not what I asked.
Okay. So if you can rephrase.
Who trained you in the training you received?
Okay. So the certification specific to flying that aircraft that I received, the correspondence came from Executive Aviation, and they also yes. So Executive Aviation South Africa paid for the training, sent me also the correspondence and the ticket to embark on that 3 weeks recertification training.
So in other words, Executive trained you and not the claimant.
I affirm to that. Executive did.
Sorry, what's the question?
In other words, Executive trained him and not the claimant.
I affirm to the fact that Executive initiated, contacted me to embark on the training, and paid for the training.
Okay. Now, what kind of training did you receive in respect of claimant Challenger 6013R? What kind of training did you receive?
So it's called a type rating. The certification is called a type rating. It takes 3 weeks to complete. It is a training required to be completed if you are going to be certified to fly as a pilot in command of the Challenger 601.
So, thank you. Sorry. You said it is a type rating training. Are you familiar with initial type rating and recurrent training?
Affirmative. So recurrent training is not a type rating. A type rating.
Sorry, you said you are familiar with recurrent training and type rate training.
Affirmative. Like I stated, this was a type rating, not recurrent training.
Okay. Now, can you tell us the difference between this type rating training and the recurrent training?
The type rating training is required when you are going to fly the Challenger 601 for the first time, or when you have not flown it in the capacity of pilot in command, and your employer requires you to fly it in the capacity of pilot in command. Then you have to be issued a type rating training. In another balance, there are civil aviation regulations that dictate that if you have not flown a particular aircraft over a certain period of years, even though you operated it before, for you to go back and operate it again for safety of the air, you have to go back and be recertified at initial type rating. I can give an example to that.
No, don't worry. Because of this thing, I think we've understood what you said.
Okay.
That the type rating is required when you are going to fly the particular model for the first time.
FM?
I get you correctly.
Yes.
So does this mean?
Not the only thing you said.
That's what he said.
Yes, the other you add the or because it's a clause. It's in the civil aviation regulation that I.
Well, so that we are not spending
The current.
The current.
The current. The weakness. What I have recorded for the weakness is that I am familiar with the current training and type rating training. The type rating required when you are going to fly the Challenger 6 for the first time, or you are not going into the capacity of pilots in command. There are still aviation regulations that will take that.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes,
There's a third one he stated, which I would like him to confirm.
So the third one is, even if you have been flying, if my Lord would, I'll be slow so that my Lord can record. Even if you have been flying a particular aircraft type, the variant, but you left it, maybe another employer took you to another variant, and you have not flown it for a particular period of time. For you now to get offered a job on this particular variant, you have to go back and do an initial type rating. For a recurrent training, you need a year. If you have not flown it, but within 1 year, you can go back and do a recurrent training. Anything more than that time is at the discretion of the safety organization of the employing company. Now, insurance comes in. Some insurance companies will stipulate that for enhanced safety in the air, you should go back and do an initial type rating before they can insure that aircraft for the operating company.
Question?
Yes. Am I correct to say that you have never flown Challenger 601 AR before your employment with the claimant?
No, you'll be wrong to say that, because I have flown the Challenger 601 AR before this employment.
So why did you get the initial type rating?
Because I had only flown the Challenger 601 in the capacity of second in command, and the time stipulated for the requirement when executives contacted me, according to their insurance policies, required me to undertake the initial for certification purposes to meet the role they wanted me to play. In other words, if they required me.
Sorry, my lord cannot hear you.
Oh, okay.
Since I got the initial type rating, I only do the capacity of second. That's
Okay.
very, that's not fair.
Okay. So
That's okay, my lord. That answers me. question.
Okay.
If I could hear my Lord again, because it was also a bit broken, I could not hear clearly. So that I'll know what my Lord recorded in case I have to.
Okay. Let me.
Put the microphone there so I can hear it. I seem to have temporarily lost my connection.
Repeat.
Okay. So as to the last question, I had flown the Challenger 601 3A and R before, but I had not flown it in the capacity of pilot in command. Now, because I was extensively experienced on a similar variant, Challenger 604, and the employer required me to fly in the capacity of pilot in command, deploying my experience on the Challenger generally. The requirement for them was to certify me with the initial type rating on the 601 to meet the licensing requirements.
Yes.
Witness. Does this training expire? The training you receive, does it expire?
Yes, the training is valid for 1 year, except you go after the 12 months and do a recurrent training. So in other words, it's valid for 12 months. You can only keep it, renew it. You can renew it upon its expiry every 12 months by embarking on a recurrent training on this type rating certification.
Yes.
All right. Now, where did you do this training? Was it physical or online?
It was in person at the Flight Safety International training facility in Houston, Texas, in the United States of America.
Sorry, my lord is right here.
So to answer your question more the way my lord will understand, you have to have a license. Having my American license, FAA, now qualifies me to go to a training facility and have that certification added onto my FAA license. The FAA is the Federal Aviation.
Sorry, I don't need that.
Okay.
The training was successful and flight training facility Texas.
Thank you.
That's all. Yes.
Who did you sign the training bond agreement with? Was it executive or the claimant?
I signed the training bond agreement with Execujet as it is shown on the document, the execution page, and the title document with official stationery of Execujet Aviation on it.
Yes.
Thank you. Well, I don't know. There is no way to show him exhibits, but
No, if you show it, I can see.
sent a mail titled training bond dated to 2018. I don't know if I can get the maybe just show them.
It has ceased on that connection if my lord.
December 2018, the one I'm referring to.
So the communication ceased. The
Sorry.
communication ceased. So maybe you can show it through the other council's communication.
Can you see this document?
Your communication is going on and off. Maybe you can show
It's
it.
freezing.
Let me
It's
try.
freezing.
Let me try it.
It's freezing.
Can you see it here?
Affirmative, I can see it.
Okay. Can you see this document? That is exhibit D4.
Let me see.
Mhm.
Exhibit D4.
Yes. So exhibit D4 says, "Good day, sir. I have received the bond. Considering we didn't discuss a training bond when I was being employed in November, give me some time to look at it carefully as I'm about to depart for my flight." This was your mail to the claimant. Am I correct?
I agree, you're correct.
Correct. So what bond were you referring to if you signed the bond agreement with Executive and not the claimant?
The same bond we're talking about. Most of the communication from Executive came through the claimant. If you go further from this bond to the document.
What?
Just a minute.
Just a minute.
Say it was my mail to the defendant and
To the claimant.
it was my mail to the claimant. Is that your evidence? Exhibit D4 was your mail.
It was my mail as the communication channel from Executive often came through the claimant, carrying Executive official stationery always.
Yes.
Okay. Did you sign an employment contract with claimant aside the ex-crew training loan? All right.
It broke up a bit. Can you ask again?
Okay, question.
The question is this, can you hear me?
Yes.
The question is this, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Did you sign an employment contract with claimant? Did you ever sign an employment contract with claimant?
Yes, I did. Because if you see the training bond agreement had clauses referring to the employment contract, but the claimant, no, I insist. my Lord, that there is
Yes, yes.
there's some answers that have to be given the background so that my Lord will understand we are about the truth and the facts, not
What I have is said that I signed an employment contract with the claimant. Yes, witness, I recorded you saying that you signed an employment contract with the claimant. Is that correct?
my Lord, the claimant was sent a training bond. Inside made in a clause inside said with reference to the employment contract. So I requested the employment contract that we have been on the issue of employment contract and you are not sending it. Why are we talking about the bond that refers open to this clause 6 that talks about the crew services agreement? That is when the claimant now sent the crew services agreement, which executive had communicated to me that they have sent it to me through the claimant and I had not received. But on the claimant,
just watch the court is not writing you.
okay.
You have answered the question. Whether you signed an agreement contract.
No, I want my Lord, if my Lord is recording, to let's know if the answer is actually recorded as was answered, because sometimes the communication breaks up. So these are the things we have to
So
find
you
out.
signed the employment contract with the claimant, and there were references to the employment contract.
So okay, now, my Lord, I said, I was sent a training bond by the claimant without an employment contract. Executive had communicated to me that they have sent me an employment contract. I said I have not received. They said,
Okay, next question.
Okay, so this training bond you said they are sent. Did you sign it?
ask again.
This training bond that you said they are sent by the claimants. Did you sign it?
Affirmative. I signed a training bond which I can identify on each page of the training bond agreement. I signed a training bond which I can identify. I signed just like you sign contract on each page and dated each page. However, the one the claimant tendered is a forged document. Now, how did I identify it? The one I signed and dated each page of. I signed and dated each page. Now, the one the claimant tendered extracted the execution page, the last signature page, and attached to a forged document, which carries different font. When you are typing, you see the font. The font of the document forged is different, and then the execution page of the original one I signed is different. So when I saw that, I could identify the forgery. The one I signed had my signature and dated on each page of the training bond agreement. The training bond agreement itself is dependent on the crew services agreement, as the one I have tendered will show, which gives responsibilities to both parties. You do this part, you pay at this time and this time, and if you're not paid, you give notice, and then in turn, you remain under employment for the duration of this. And if in 30 days, you give notice and it's still not paid, then the training bond agreement is being broken. Another way where I identified the forgery. Executed. My lord is muted. My lord is muted.
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes, my lord.
Yes. You said that the training bond that is authentic. The one you signed every page of the document and you dated every page of the document. And that the one tendered by the claimant, you say it's a forgery. And you had said something I didn't quite get. Did you say it has a different font?
Affirmative. So, yes, it has it has a different font. The whole document does not have my signature on it and has a different font. And then the last page of the authentic one, the last page of the authentic document I signed has been extracted and attached to the forged document. And when, my lord, the court examines it, it is easily identifiable by the different fonts of this document. I urge my court to juxtapose by putting these two documents side by side. My lord will notice that the execution page corresponds with the authentic document and is consistent with the other pages of the authentic document.
Yes.
I cannot, counsel is offline. If you can come close to the other counsel. And counsel, you are muted. You are muted. If you can unmute. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Now, do you know that allegation of forgery is an offense?
I do know that. I also know that the forgery itself is a bigger offense.
Yes.
Do you have any proof of this forgery?
I will go over the proof again.
There's no need to go
Yes,
over the
yeah.
proof.
Okay,
Yes.
there's
I've
no.
already given evidence on why you think this document is a forgery.
As a court pleases.
Yes.
Now, you said you signed an employment contract, right?
Yes, I do.
Does your employment contract allow you to fly ad hoc flights during the employment?
There was no restriction or mention in my employment contract as it has been tendered that excluded me from flying ad hoc flights. Now, why the reason?
That's okay, that's okay.
No,
Don't worry.
it's not. My lord,
Just hold on.
my lord, this is important for you to take note of. The license is only valid if you fly every 3 takeoffs and landing every 3 months. When you check my FAA license, if I have not flown 3 takeoffs and landing every 90 days, the license is invalid. I have to go back to the facility in Houston and recertify in the simulator by flying another training of 3 takeoffs and landing. So when you have a license and the operator is not operating frequently, the responsibility of keeping the license valid lies on the flight crew. So your flying ad hoc ensures that you meet that recency requirement. It is called recency requirement of aircrew licenses.
Yes, next question.
So does this mean that you were flying other airplanes at the time you said you were employed by the claimant?
Affirmative. On locations, I had flown other aircrafts. As is required to retain the validity and recency of my aircrew licenses.
And you were,
Yeah.
my lord, just a few.
Just a few.
Like 5 of them, my lord.
Do you have a limited time frame?
I'm sorry, my lord. Okay, just give me direct answer so that we go. Were you paid for these ad hoc services by the companies you flew for?
Affirmative. You will be paid for
Thank
that
you.
services.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. Did the ever borrow you monies during your employment? Did you ever borrow money from the claimant?
I apologize. Your Honor, is laughable. I never borrowed money from my employer. Ever, I haven't heard of employers being bank lenders or borrowers of monies to employees.
All right. My lord, at this stage, I will just wrap up because of my time. Then this is my last question to you. Did you ever refuse to resume work after claimant wrote to you to resume work?
No. As a matter of fact, the claimant's operations manager, Mukhtar, who initiated the introduction to the claimant and executive for my employment, called me as a dispatcher to come and fly the aircraft. And I did fly it to Sokoto and back with another captain that also had left back to the US and a cabin crew who is a Nigerian. And the evidence of the flight was actually also added to the evidence of the tech log, although the claimant disputed it, but the fact is the fact. We have Freedom of Information Act. The court and my lord can actually ask the control towers in Sokoto and all. I'm here under oath. And I do say that he also knows that I flew the aircraft to Sokoto and back. So when they called me to operate, I did. Afterwards, Mr. Mukhtar called that the claimant had called and shouted violently that he should never have called me, he shouldn't call me to operate the aircraft again. So I had always been available, even after that flight, to operate if I was called upon.
So was it the only time you flew the claimant's aircraft after the training and all?
No. After the certification in Houston, the claimant and executive moved me on the 23rd of December, 2018, to Newcastle, Delaware, where the aircraft was under maintenance. That email that my counsel made reference to was the first time I took it for a test flight, and we could not depart because of the requirements that I put inside of the email. Now, that was 29th of December at Christmas during winter, away from my family. So when I identified everything that needed maintenance on the aircraft, they started the maintenance work. When it was completed in January, ending the day you mentioned that I said I was going for my flight, that I will look at it later.
Don't worry, you've answered my question so that we don't waste more
I
time.
flew it also on the 29th of January.
Next question.
Yes, thank you very much. That will be all for this week.
If I may ask if the answer was recorded, because I did fly the aircraft on other occasions.
Re-examination.
But the witness.
Only where there's ambiguity.
Ask up, please, my lord. A witness, you made mention of the training bond that you assigned for the executive or Martini. I couldn't, really make out the exact training bond, because like what the witness has stated, he signed a training bond which was with executives. And what my Leonard colleague was trying to put to him is the training bond of Martinez. That was.
Well, I will read what I have recorded on respect of the training bond. I signed the training bond it was the claimant I signed an contract. There were references to the fact I was sent a training bond by the claimant without a contract. I signed a training bond which I can identify. The training bonds the claimant tendered in the court document. One I signed by me and dated on the the one tendered by the answers to different forms. The last page of the what's the
I've got places. I've gotten clarified now. My lord, that would be all for.
You have no re-examination.
No re-examination.
Counsel, if I may add.
My lord, case. My lord, that is the case of the defendant's recounted claim. My lord, may I apply for a date for us to file a final written address, and adopt same for my lord.
February 11, 2025 for adoption. The case is adjourned to February 11, 2025 for adoption of final numbers. I wish it